We're talking about emotional well-being from a man point of view. What is emotional well-being, and also from a different culture?
Well, emotional well-being is basically not just looking. It's basically looking after yourself, isn't it?
Yes.
It's looking after your mental health, because the stress of everyday life can pretty much take a massive toll on you, can't it? Having to
Yes.
get up early, having to go to work, having to work those long hours, having to pay the bills, buy food, keep the roof over your head and everything, buy clothes. The list goes on. But last thing you need for it to do is basically send you down the path of kind of near enough self-destruction,
True.
where you feel like there's no escaping from all this. It's like a vicious cycle going on and on and on. You're like this little hamster in this very big wheel that just doesn't stop rolling, and it's like as soon as you go back to sleep, you're up the next morning, you're doing the same thing all over again.
That's why I always says every day is the same, because you're getting up and you're doing that same routine. You get up at 5 o'clock, you're doing the same routine, and it goes on, as you rightly said, during the days, and we're not giving ourselves time. So for me personally, I've been down that road and I haven't been doing time for myself. I'm not finding time to do what I like to do. Yeah, go where I want to go. It's like you have to, if you're a carer, for example, and you're looking after an elderly mother, father, auntie, it's like you have to be dashing back at a time. First thing in the morning, oh, I've got to see mom or dad have medication, have something to eat. Then you're looking at the time again. So it constantly doing 7 days a week. So it can be depressing and emotional. We're abusing ourselves because we are not thinking about ourselves. So how do you relieve yours?
Well, it's like when you've got like ambitions, you want to do this thing or that thing, and then it's like you kind of completely become ambitiousless without you knowing about it, because you're too busy worrying about what this one's got.
Somebody else.
Exactly,
Yeah.
their well-being, understandable, their family and all that stuff, and but you have to really sometimes put yourself a little bit forward. Now, there's two ways of putting that. There's basically one way of saying you're thinking about yourself or you're thinking for yourself. Now, thinking about yourself is those type of people who just think, oh, everything's about me, I don't care about this person, that person, I'm going to do whatever's like, the selfish mentality.
Right.
But whereas thinking for yourself is, okay, I want something better for my life. I want to, start a business. I want to become my own independent, wealthy individual.
But don't you think sometimes that is very hard as well, because there's always going to be obstacle. It's always somebody's going to put obstacle in our way, and then instead of move forward, we're going backwards. So we're not looking after our well-being. We're not looking at the right diet. We are not looking after our hair. We are not looking after the clothes. So it's like we're neglecting ourselves. But from a man point of view, how do you feel about that?
I agree with that, because when you're not thinking straight, you're not eating straight. As the saying goes, you are what you eat. So whatever you put into your mouth affects both your mind and your heart. You take on the characteristics of sloppiness, greediness, uncleanliness, which you don't want to do. So it's just basically, the best thing is if you can look after yourself physically, but most of all, look after yourself mentally. The mental health is, real wealth, as they say.
Yeah. All right. And how are we going to do that? For me personally, it's like me and you sitting here now, and I'm saying, let's go and sit near some water and sit there and let the world go by and talk in generally about how we feel. Because sometimes we feel trapped in ourselves, or we could say, I'm doing this for somebody else, and other people cannot understand why you need time out for yourself, even for a couple of hours to do what you want to do. So our well-being is more important, because if we haven't looked after ourselves, who is going to do it?
You are your own worst enemy, or you can be your own best friend.
And I'd rather be my own best friend.
Who doesn't want to be their own best friend?
But sometimes, as I said, circumstances and people around us, negative people, make you don't want to be those. Are they trying to put you down, or trying to make you feel guilty, or put something in the way? So we go back down and start having a low self-esteem about ourselves.
Yeah, that is true. Low self-esteem. I'm sure every person in the world has approached a moment in life where low self-esteem has taken over them, regardless of how successful they may be or anything like that. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Exactly.
So it is best to talk to somebody, get an understanding, get a better feeling, you become mentally better yourself, and you know that there is help out there that is offered. All you need to do is look out there, get out in the great outdoors, and see what's there to be given.
I know when I'm feeling like that, what I do, I go out and talk to people, and you can hear some jokes and that put a big laugh or a big smile on your face, and you feel better by even talking about the weather, yeah, and able to look at things. You just burst out laughing at time, and I think that is a good relief. Laughing, and smiling is a good medication as well. We forget what the world is like.
That's true. As I say, laughter is the best form of medicine. And
I can see it.
there, yeah, I just said it and it came out as well. So so it's satisfied customer over here, everybody. So so as I say, laughter is good. You are the company that you keep. If you hang around with people who are unambitious, ambitiousless, got no drive, got no motivation, just want to waste time, sleep till silly o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to end up becoming like that, aren't you? But if you hang around on the plus side of things, the flip side of that coin is when you hang around with people who are full of ambition, full of drive, full of motivation, they want to see you strive better in life. Sometimes you just have to get out there and see what the world has to offer. You're not going to find out sitting at home and someone's going to knock on the door. That's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not. So what we're going to do, we're going to end this one now and go off to another one. But it's nice, hearing from a man point of view, because what it is, men do not really open up and talk about how they really feel, or they think they can't talk to anybody. But luckily, me and you sit here laughing, we're looking at each other's face, we're talking, and we feel better.
Definitely, I feel like enormous weight's been lifted off the shoulders just by having a little bit of a laugh. As the saying goes, a little goes a long way.
Yes.
Yeah.